There is a quiet promise woven through almost everything you've been told about success. It goes like this: if something feels hard, you must be doing it wrong. If you were truly aligned with your purpose, the path would open beneath your feet. The right life, they say, should feel like flow, like ease, like the universe finally agreeing with you. It is a beautiful idea, and it has quietly ruined more lives than almost any lie of our time. Because the people who actually became who they were meant to be, most of them suffered terribly to get there. Not despite their alignment, because of it. So today, I want to take that comfortable promise apart and show you what's actually hiding underneath it. Let's start with why the lie is so seductive. Because no one believes something this fragile without a reason. We are drawn to the idea of effortless success because effort is painful, and the mind, left alone, will always look for the door marked easy. There's a deeper hunger underneath it, though. We don't just want success, we want permission. We want proof that we're on the right path. And in a confusing world, ease feels like proof. If it flows, it must be meant to be. If it's hard, maybe it isn't. Do you see the trap forming? We've turned a feeling into a compass, and feelings make a terrible compass. The modern self-help industry took this hunger and built an empire on it. It told you that struggle is a symptom of misalignment, that resistance is the universe redirecting you, that the absence of pain is the presence of purpose. It sounds wise, it sells beautifully, and it gives you a perfect excuse to quit the moment things get difficult. Here is what I want you to sit with. The belief that the right path feels easy is the most efficient way ever invented to abandon the right path. Because the right path almost never feels easy at the start. It feels like doubt. It feels like clumsiness. It feels like being bad at something that matters to you. And if you've been taught that difficulty means wrong turn, you'll walk away from your life right at the moment it was about to begin. So let's leave the marketing behind and look at what history actually shows us. Because history is not kind to the myth of effortless greatness. Consider Michelangelo. We imagine genius as a kind of magic, the hand that simply knows. But Michelangelo spent 4 years on his back beneath the Sistine Chapel ceiling, paint falling into his eyes, his spine curving, his vision distorting. He wrote a poem about how the work was deforming his body. This was not flow. This was a man being slowly broken by the very thing he was born to do. And he did it anyway. Now ask yourself, would the self-help guru have told him to stop? To listen to his body's resistance? To find something that felt more aligned? Consider Dostoevsky. He was arrested, marched to his own execution, stood before the firing squad, and was pardoned at the last possible second as a deliberate cruelty, then sent to a Siberian prison camp for years. The man who would later map the human soul more precisely than almost anyone who ever lived. His insight was not a gift that arrived in ease. It was carved out of suffering most of us could not survive. Consider Viktor Frankl. He built his entire philosophy of meaning inside a concentration camp. He watched everything be taken from human beings, their families, their names, their bodies. And he discovered that even there, one thing could not be taken: the freedom to choose your response to suffering. Frankl did not find meaning because his life flowed. He found meaning because his life collapsed, and he refused to let the collapse have the final word. There's a pattern here, and it's uncomfortable. The people we most admire were rarely the people who suffered least. They were often the people who suffered most. and found something on the other side of it. Nietzsche, who knew chronic pain and isolation intimately, put it plainly. He said that what does not destroy us makes us stronger. But we've cheapened that line into a fridge magnet. What he actually meant was darker and more honest. That a meaningful life is not the avoidance of suffering, it's the transformation of it. Now, I need to be very careful here, because there is a dangerous misreading of everything I've just said, and hustle culture has built its own empire on that misreading. It hears all this and shouts, so suffering is the point. Grind harder, sleep less, suffer more. That is not the lesson. That is the lie wearing a different mask. So let's draw the most important line in this entire video. The line between meaningful struggle and pointless grinding. They can look identical from the outside. Two people, exhausted, pushing against resistance. But underneath, they are opposites. Pointless grinding is suffering without direction. It's motion mistaken for meaning. It's the person who works 18 hours, not because the work matters to them, but because stopping would force them to feel something they're avoiding. Hustle culture doesn't ask why, it only asks how much. Meaningful struggle is different. Meaningful struggle has a center. It hurts, but the pain is pointed at something you actually value. George Orwell wrote that good prose is like a window pane, invisible, effortless to read. But behind every clear sentence he ever wrote was agony. Drafting, cutting, hating his own work, starting again. The reader experiences ease. The writer paid for that ease in struggle the reader will never see. That's the distinction. Meaningful struggle produces something. It builds a self. It leaves you more you than it found you. Pointless grinding only produces exhaustion. It hollows you out and calls it discipline.
Here's a question worth keeping. Are you struggling towards something? Or are you just struggling away from yourself? Carl Jung gave us a word for the real version of this: individuation. The lifelong process of becoming who you actually are. And Jung was explicit. This process is not pleasant. It requires confronting the parts of yourself you've buried. The shadow, the shame, the disowned. Jung said there is no coming to consciousness without pain. Not might be pain. No coming to consciousness without it. Becoming yourself is not a sunrise. It's a confrontation.
So if struggle is the price, where does ease come from? Because it does exist. The flow, the effortless action, the moment the work seems to move through you. This is real. But the self-help industry got the timeline exactly backwards. Effortlessness is not the starting condition of the right path. It's the reward at the far end of mastery. Watch a master at anything. A surgeon, a pianist, a craftsman who's done the same work for 40 years. It looks effortless. It looks like flow. And it is. But that ease is built on 10,000 hours of difficulty that you didn't see. The effortlessness is real. It's just earned. We see the calm hands of the master. We don't see the decade of clumsy, frustrated, failing hands that came before them. And so we conclude that ease is the sign of talent, when ease is actually the residue of struggle. This is the cruelest part of the lie. It shows you the destination and tells you it should feel like the destination from the very first step. Not, how do I make my life feel easy, but what is worth suffering for? because you will suffer either way. The only choice you have is whether your suffering points at something or at nothing. So if your path is hard right now, if it asks more of you than you thought you had, don't be so quick to call that misalignment. It might be the most aligned thing you've ever done. The right life was never going to feel effortless. It was going to feel worth it. And those two things have almost nothing to do with each other. If you made it this far, I have a question for you. What is something in your life that is difficult, but still feels worth suffering for? Let me know in the comments. I'd genuinely like to hear your answer. Thank you for watching. Until next time.